What's going on, YouTube world and YouTube tribe? Welcome back to LilBigMan Gaming, bringing you review for Friday Night Smackdown. I want to say thank you to everybody who will join me for this wrestling review, and a little bit. I know it's a little bit late. It's like 30 minutes before SummerSlam, so I'm gonna get this done quick as possible so I can get to that. So we start off with an Edge promo. That's how they started SmackDown. They started SmackDown with an Edge promo, and it was a good one too, a really good one. Let's see, where we Edge basically says that he watched and heard what Seth Rollins had to say last week, and that he felt like it had him like he was worried. I would say he said he was worried. Because back in 2014, he was worried when Seth Rollins put his foot on his neck, and he said that back then it was threatening his basically the livelihood, the way he lived life, the ability to put to care for his daughter, for his kid, for his kids, for his wife. And back because he was afraid, he was worried that he was going to get stumped. And then he said, when he heard and watched what Seth Rollins says last week, he's like, you know what? I know you mean business because you had that same look in your eyes, same look, and I know you mean business. But the things he said last week, and it said, got him into a dark place where the blood runs black, and he was saying that it's making him go to a place that he doesn't like to go because it's hard to come back from, because he actually legit liked being in that place. He liked being in that dark place, and he realized that it's a place he don't like to go. So he tells Seth Rollins that at SummerSlam, I will not only just beat you, but I will break you, I will humble you, and I will burn you down. And then, which was an awesome promo. This will lead to the first match of the night, which is Rey Mysterio versus Jey Uso. I like to point out, I wanted you to let me know in the comments down below if you've seen it, but I want to point out they advertised the wrong person. They said they said it was, before they even showed the little graph, they said it was gonna be Rey Mysterio versus Jey Uso. So I said, okay, cool. Then I see when they did the little picture, the side by side, they got Rey Mysterio. It says, they got Rey Mysterio picture versus versus Jey Uso, and they got Jimmy up there. It don't say Jay, it says Jimmy. I'm like, you screwed up, WWE. You screwed. Don't try to change it, because when we come back from commercial break, they try to say, yeah, Jey Uso and blah blah blah. Nah, don't try to cover it up. Y'all messed up before the commercial break. And on that thing it says Jimmy, and Michael Cole and them even said Jimmy, but it was Jay. It was Jey Uso. So it was just like, okay, now this is like, okay, I'm like a little bit invested into the match now because they messed it up. It was a good match. Yeah, it's a good match, saying a lot that we seen Rey Mysterio, the version of Rey Mysterio versus the Usos, or Dominic and Rey. We seen different versions of this match. But the one thing this match had going for it was that it went longer than normal, and it was overall just a decent match. It was something that I enjoyed for the first time in a long time. Actually can say I enjoy a Rey Mysterio versus Jey Uso match just because it was so much going into it. But yeah, your winner was Jey Uso at the end, because Dominic tried to get involved and do like how they've been doing, where he would put his feet on the back of Rey Mysterio to get the pin. This time the referee seen it, tried to eject Dominic, but Dominic would then get beat up by Jimmy. And then they would hit the they would hit the splash onto Jey would hit the splash on Rey Mysterio for the win. They did a recap about Baron Corbin stealing the Money in the Bank briefcase, which led to the second match, which is Kevin Owens versus Baron Corbin. I also like to note that Baron Corbin ripped his pants. He did. He ripped his pants doing that performance, so that was a little bit funny. But yeah, he came out like my precious, with the Money in the Bank briefcase. It was like, that's not yours. It's not yours. Please, WWE, don't make me watch a Big E versus Baron Corbin for the briefcase, which wasn't rightfully even his in the first place. I do not want to see that, because that Big E doesn't deserve that. But yeah, it was a good match. It was going back and forth for a while, but then as suspected, Big E came out, got involved. He, you thought he would just go cause like a distraction for the win. But he ended up beating up Baron Corbin, causing a DQ, giving for the first time in a while a legit actual win for Baron Corbin. Kevin got disqualified, obviously. Yeah, so pretty much that's how that went. Big E went to beat him up. He grabbed his briefcase, but Baron Corbin would after getting beat up, he would get up and push Big E into the steel steps, not the steel step, but the ring post, hurting his arm, kayfabe, of course. And Big E, he would take off with Big E's briefcase again. The third match would be Tegan Knox versus Tegan Knox and Santi Blackheart. I was about to say versus Santi Blackheart. Tegan Knox and Santi Blackheart versus Tamina and Natalya. Now, I just want to point out too, is it odd that Natalya just had surgery? She had a torn ligament in her leg. They even mentioned how it was strange that she just had surgery 3 weeks ago, and now she's back in the ring wrestling like she just didn't have a torn ligament. And she got some steel rods in her feet, and they was like, even they were saying, she was saying like, oh, I'm Wolverine because I heal quickly and stuff like that. But I'm like, I think maybe it was just too early. Maybe it was too early for her to come back. I don't know. It is, but I still think it was weird. I still think that was weird that she was back. But I'm glad to see Tegan Knox and Santi Blackheart get some actions, get some on screen time. I was taken back a little bit by the fact that Tegan, they try to call her Knox again instead of Tegan Knox, which is stupid. Tegan Knox is better than just calling her Knox. But yeah, it was a good match, and Tegan Knox and Santi did get the victory over them. Hopefully, this leads to an actual tag team championship match instead of tag team contenders match. We got the best, by hands down, the best promo of the night. This was what made this compared to Raw. This was the better show in terms of being the go home show for a pay-per-view that's today. Seth Rollins basically would come out and said that he heard what Ed says earlier, and he says that Ed's covered all his bases, saying, "Oh, he covered all his bases, saying why he would lose at some time, saying his neck, that he's a father." And then he said, there's no, and then I gotta go to this dark place, and this black darkness in my heart to beat you. And he said there's no shame in finding that darkness within you, because he said without it, he told him without it you cannot beat me. You can't hang with me. You can't even be on my level if you don't find that dark place. But the thing is, Edge, that part of you, that side of you is dead and gone and buried and is gone forever, because you will never be able to find that. But then all of a sudden we get hit with we get hit with the brood. I'm sorry, I had to do the little brood thing. We get hit with the brood. Boom, bam, bam. I'm like, oh no, Brew Edge. We got Brew Edge. Do you know how long it's been since I seen Edge as Brood Edge? Not since the Brood. It don't. That's a character that don't get enough. That don't get a shine no more. Like we seen like the Edge of Christian Edge, where they do the 3-second poses and stuff. We seen multiple times that them reunite for that, but we hardly never seen the Brood Edge. And that was cool. We seen he was on screen. He was at beware, take care. He said because you'll never see, because the freak comes out at night and you'll never see it coming, Seth Rollins. And Seth is in the ring just like, come on, come say it to my face. And down comes just some black nasty blood. You know, to talk, because he said earlier, obviously, that he made him go to a place where the blood runs black, and he wanted to prove that to him by pouring black blood on Seth Rollins, just sitting there in the ring covered. He had a whole white suit on that's now black blood, and he's just sitting there like, I'm gonna get him. You know, he's like furious now. But yeah, that was like the hands down the best promo of the night, because it was just so cool to see Brew Edge. I'm actually hyped to see his Edge comes out as himself or Brew Edge. You know, I'm hoping he come out as Brew Edge. You could tell by my excitement, I really want him to come out as Brew Edge. The next match would be Montez Ford versus Otis, and didn't really care for it. Oh man, some of my peoples are hitting up with about SummerSlam. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, this is going on. There's a whole group chat. But yeah, I am so sorry about that. I'm gonna leave this in there though, because this was just like the whole thing about the group chat about SummerSlam. I didn't really care about the Otis and Montez Ford match. It was it was the same thing we got over and over. Like despite my I love the high flying from Montez Ford. It's only so many times I can see him versus Otis and in the Alpha Academy. So I didn't really care. The winner though was Otis, as it should have been, because I really didn't expect Montez Ford to beat Otis. And what was with Montez Ford wearing like boxing like shorts in the ring? I don't know. That was also weird. The next match was King Nakamura and Rick Boogs versus Apollo Crews and Aziz. And this was a good match. And the reason why I say it was good, because it made me laugh. Because if y'all remember when Aziz got tagged in, my dude jumped over the top rope and just quickly got into the ring and started beating the hell out of I think it was Rick. I think it was either Rick or Shinsuke. No, I think Shinsuke got tagged in. Yeah, Shinsuke got tagged in. Aziz got tagged in. He hopped over the ring and went to attack on Nakamura, and Pat McAfee was like the star of that whole segment, because after that I was so invested. He made me get invested into this match just by saying these simple words. As soon as Aziz jumped over the rope and started punching King Nakamura, you hear Pat McAfee say, "Did this big son of a bitch just jump over the top rope?" I was like, oh God. Like, it caught me off guard. The reason why it caught me off guard because I didn't see that at first. I wasn't paying attention. So I had to go back and watch to see what he was talking about. And I was like, oh yeah, he did. That big man just hopped over the rope like he was a high flyer and went in there and started beating on King Nakamura. And it was just like after that, Michael Cole was so caught off guard, he didn't even know what to say. He was just like, yeah, you know, he just kept commentating. But yeah, the match was good. I enjoyed it. Thanks to Pat McAfee. I think King Nakamura, yeah, winner. Rick Booz and King Nakamura. I think Rick Booz even got the pin. The next match, which I think was the last match of the night, yeah, which was Bianca Belair. It technically was the next two matches, but it was Bianca Belair versus Zelina and Carmella. Now at the same time, it was actually like two different matches, and Bianca basically she easily defeated Zelina Vega, but then she would get attacked by Carmella, who was waiting, and you know she went one. They went. There was a better match with Carmella, but then Carmella ended up getting beaten too. And so basically, the winner of the next two matches was Bianca Belair. And I wanted to say this, and the reason why I said this is because Bianca Belair. But you know, it's been going around that Bianca Belair and Sasha might not wrestle tonight, even though they even during SmackDown. I told you I was going to update you on this. Even during SmackDown, it's still going on as a rumor that they might not wrestle tonight. But SmackDown showed that according to the WWE and according to SmackDown, they're going to be wrestling tonight. I'm guessing. I'm going to safely assume that Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks are going to wrestle for the SmackDown Women's Championship, even though rumor says otherwise, because Bianca was on SmackDown wrestling and she looked it good. She looked it healthy. I guess Sasha was not on SmackDown, but I don't know if that meant something or not. But according to them, they're going to be wrestling. Let me see. Was that it? Yep. We get to the last thing, which is a promo from it was the final promo, and you should see my note. I got this notebook, and this whole page is just the promo. But I'm not going to actually go through it like I'm reading, like we having a promo. But I'm gonna give you the highlights of it. So basically, Roman Reigns and John Cena, instead of one come out cutting the promo and then the other one come out, they both come out after doing their entrances. They both come out in the ring, and I think Roman Reigns starts it off, right? Yeah, Roman Reigns starts it off saying that he said he was getting ready. He said, a lot of people would say, and then he get cut off by the crowd, and he said that's about they helping me make my point. A lot of people say a lot of things to me. He said a lot of stupid, dumb things to me, and he said that John Cena said a lot of stupid, dumb things to him last week, and he said he's not gonna let John Cena lied to the people and said that he's going to beat him 1, 2, 3. He said no. He said you're not going to do anything of the such. You're going to come wrestle and come SummerSlam. You're going to get in there. I want to beat you. I'm going to beat you up so bad, and then I'm going to stack you and pin you, and then send you back to Hollywood. And that, but then John Cena said, I'm going to stop you right there. You're delusional. And you got this little crazy delusional bubble around you. And that he said at SummerSlam is all about you. You got to be the one to show up. And if you make a mistake, 1, 2, 3. If you do this or do that, 1, 2, 3. He kept running off about how Roman could mess up, could be that easy, and that he said he basically telling him that. At SummerSlam, he's going to leave. He said we're no longer. He said after SummerSlam, we're not going to have resident Universal Champion until WrestleMania, to the next WrestleMania. Then he turns to the crowd and said, "See you there." And that he said because of Roman Reigns, he's going to leave Roman Reigns embarrassed and a failure. And that at SummerSlam, he will make history and become the 17-time world record breaking champion, and that the champ will be here, and that Roman Reigns get a little pissed, and he said, what, you trying to say you're better than me? Like, you think you just go come there and just what makes you different? He said, what makes you different than everybody else that are behind? What makes you think that you just gonna come in there and beat me? Like, what gives you this confidence? And he said, what, you think you better than me? Because what? Because you could go off and do movies in Hollywood. You don't think I could do movies in Hollywood and go do all this and that and that? You don't think you think you better? And then he stops and just looks at John Cena like, as he just got tipped off. And then he tells John Cena, you know, it's Vegas, right? He said, let's raise the stakes. At SummerSlam, either I walk out Universal Champion or I leave WWE. And John Cena and Roman Reigns shake on it. Roman Reigns tried to get the upper hand. He tried to pick him up, look like he was trying to pick him up for like a Samoan drop. But John Cena would get out of it and reverse it into a pin. And he actually pinned him. You know, even though it was an official match, he really did pin him 1, 2, 3. And he ran out the ring and his music started playing. And John Cena was like, see, that's all it takes. 1, 2, 3. And, you know, Roman Reigns, he's sitting in the ring like he all upset and he like scared because Cena really just, like, that was an official match. He would have just lost his championship. He just would have lost the Universal Championship because he really just got pinned 1, 2, 3. And that's how they end the show. But if I were to give this whole anything, I want to give it a 10, but I'll give it 9.5 big ups just because it wasn't a solid show, but it was way better than Raw. It was way better than Raw, and that it was a way better go home. It made me hype for at least for the SmackDown matches. Some of the SmackDown matches I actually got hyped for. Like, that's what a go home show is supposed to do. It's supposed to make you. It's the last ditch effort to make you hype for a match. And while Raw failed to do that, SmackDown did that perfectly. It made me get hyped for SummerSlam, at least for the SmackDown side. And yeah, we're gonna see we're gonna see in the future what's gonna happen. But if you enjoyed this video, then hit this button right there in the upper right corner for all of my wrestling reviews. And if you enjoyed the video so much you want to support the channel, then you know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also hit that notification button as well, so you get notified when I drop videos. And as always, hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content, but don't go nowhere because like I said, I got some Superman and Lois season finale review for you.